So, welcome to Upturned Table. I'm Jeremy, and today we're playing our second session, technically our third if you include the year zero, of Vaesen. And this is the Dance of Dreams, the included mystery in the core rulebook. And I have with me Matt and Will. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
And so we started this adventure a bit. We had a very disturbing coach ride out to the middle of nowhere in a lightning and snow and sleet storm, with Nils sitting on top of the coach, keeping watch. So I guess a quick little recap. So you came to Uppsala, and with the keys for your new headquarters, the castle. The castle Gillenkreutz.
Gillenkreutz.
Yes. And we're also met by Algot Frisk, the caretaker, and he helped you first of all get into the gate, open the gate, and settled in and started fires and started to kind of take over the place and see what you had to deal with. And you did notice that it was, for only being 10 years abandoned, it was in serious disrepair, with a leaking roof and a molding library. And all sorts of horrible things, much to Aksel's dismay. The books were a little bit endangered. And it wasn't long before then that Nils ventured into town to get some supplies and asked around for anyone looking for employment, because the castle was now back in business and needed some staff.
Right.
And when you were there, you discovered a flyer for a performance, a shadow puppet performance for the Dance of Dreams. And so you brought that back with you and showed that to Aksel as maybe an interesting distraction from all the work that was ahead of you with the castle. And it wasn't long after that you received a messenger that sent you an envelope with the with a wax seal with the name of Clint. Yes, with
Olaf.
Clint. Yes, with the name of Clint and the wax seal. And opening the envelope, you found another copy of the flyer for the Dance of Dreams, but this one signed at the bottom that says "Meet me at the Black Cat." Signed Olaf Clint. You did a little bit of research as to who this was and found out he was a detective in Uppsala that specialized in the supernatural. So with an abundance of caution, you decided to locate his office and stake him out a little bit to see what he was up to. It didn't seem that he noticed you, and Nils especially was not impressed by this lack of observance, or of observation. But he but then upon returning to the castle, he pulled up in a coach and actually was probably informed by some staff that a young man and his manservant had been watching the offices. But he offered to give you a ride to the Witch Cat Inn. There was what he was thinking, or what he found to be supernatural elements having a very haunting effect on the witch cat. And he had been there previously and felt a disturbing presence and had heard stories and asked for your assistance. Because you'd taken over the castle, he was assuming your association with the society, and told you that he was also a Thursday's child and was able to see the invisibles, and requested your assistance. And I think this seemed a little intriguing to Aksel, someone with a shared interest, and so
Yeah. So I'm still judging him. I still don't think
Yes.
he noticed. I think he's played it off. Yeah, I assume someone told him, or I was pretty sneaky. I was in disguise. There's no way he could have seen me.
That's great. Excellent.
With your butler standing next to you.
Excellent. Well, you were dressed as a tree, right?
Yeah. In tails, yeah.
Right. It seemed because of this common interest in things, it seemed that he was somewhat trustworthy, and this was just too tempting to pass up. Your first the first occurrence of the supernatural so nearby and so soon. So instead of having to meet him, you set off that evening, early evening, for the Witch Cat. And the Witch Cat was a few hours away. It was a pretty rough ride, and immediately the snow that was falling became much heavier. So you dealt with a snowstorm with a freezing sleet and lightning. As a matter of fact,
that bad. Okay.
Right. And so the ever protective Nils took a seat next to the coachman on top of the coach and endured the worst of it, but got probably the best view of the surroundings and saw some strange forms covered with snow, but and also the forest and the lake as you approached. So so you arrive at the Witch Cat, and the coachman had already he was proceeding on to the small town just a little bit further south, so he wasn't going to be able to stay. But this is an inn, so if there is no transportation till tomorrow, you definitely have a place to stay. So Sigtuna is the destination for the coach driver. And you also did see, as you approached the inn, the church tower through the trees, probably just a few kilometers away through the forest. All right. And so let's talk a little bit about preparation, just to remind. So what did you guys, what did you do during the journey to kind of prepare for the mystery? Like what kind of advantage will you have?
You were studious, right, and viewed the surrounding area?
Yeah, so I wrote down that it's for vigilance. I didn't write it down. Basically what it was just sitting up on top of the coach trying to spot, game through the trees and just study as I went, keep my eyes sharp and practice my vigilance.
Excellent. All right. And Aksel?
I brought a bunch of books from the library of the castle and read up on ghosts on the way in to enhance my learning.
Oh, excellent. Okay. All right. And you did have a bit of a conversation with Olas on the way, and found out that he is quite a religious man, and that he believes the Vaesen are the devil's spawn of the devil and should be eliminated. And so he was questioning you because he knows that those were the two separate schools of thought. Just study and kind of harmony with the Vaesen and the elimination. So he was decidedly on the side of the Vaesen are the work of the devil. All right. Okay. So as you arrive, so it's still snowing quite heavily as you arrive at the Witch Cat Inn. The inn is located at a T-junction of the road. The one direction, there's a sign right at this T-junction. One is a sign that points towards the ferry camp, which will take you across the water, across the river to Hatuna village, and to the south it leads to Sigtuna, where the coach driver is going to spend the night.
He said ferry camp, and I was like, what?
Yes, but not quite. So the ferry across the river. Yes. It should be a ferry landing, I think. All right. And you did notice, we had a little bit of this description as well. You did notice, even though things are covered with snow and it's still snowing quite heavily, from the coach, you could see the grounds are in a bit of a disrepair. It looks like things are overgrown with vines and then just covered with snow. There was a stable on the side of the house. So yeah, if you look at the map, there's a stable to the side of the house, and from inside you can see at least a wagon and some horses. Inside, a collapsed conservatory is on the far side of the grounds, and a mound of earth where there's you can see they're filling in with snow, but you can see some tracks back and forth to what looks like a dug-in root cellar, so separate from the house. In the backgrounds. All right. And so as Olas shows you the way to the front of the inn, So it's dark, dark and storming. There's a bit of moon, so it's a little silvery, but the night is still very low visibility. But through the windows of the inn, some of which are cracked, you see some warm firelight, and you actually hear singing. So it sounds. It's compared to the trip here, it sounds quite cheerful and happy. But as you noticed previously, the inn itself, just from the exterior wood that you can see, does look like it's completely falling apart. And this was something that Olas said he noticed as well. That just in this past year, it seems like the inn itself has just started to collapse, and boards are rotting. And the structure itself seems to be just giving way, similar to what the condition that you found the castle in. All right, so Olas, directs you through the front door.
I'll get the bags, sir.
Thank you, Nils.
All right, and so So Olas leads you through the front door, and you're immediately you hear just the final few lines of a song. A red-faced appears to be a cook from like immediately to your left as you enter, has stepped out of the kitchen and is behind the bar and was leading a cheerful song, kind of a randy version of the story of a troll trying to seduce a young knight, and people seem to be amused by that. And a short, stout, kind of severe man next to him immediately says, "All right, Ingli, I don't pay you to perform. Get back in the kitchen and continue with the orders." And so he shoos the cook back into the kitchen, and as you open the door, he immediately notices and recognizes, Detective Clint. So good that you've returned, and I see you've brought guests. Well, this is quite a night. You choose to return to the Witch Cat. Please have a seat. You are lucky enough to have the last of our rooms if you need them, and of course we have some hot stew ready for you if you'd like some of our famous blood sausage stew. Please be seated.
I'll look at Nils like, blood sausage stew.
Well, it is the country, sir.
And so you see this older, severe man with a beard and a nice. He's dressed a little bit formally, but a little bit ragged. He definitely does the work of the inn in these clothes, so they're getting a bit worn. And there's two other people that are serving the dining area. There's a tall, rather plump, dark-haired young girl who, when she sees you come in, immediately perks up and recognizing the detective from before, she looks a little bit hopeful. But as soon as the man who seems to be her father starts speaking, she turns her eyes back down and continues to clear away dishes and bring out orders. And there's another young man, a thin, tall young man that's also moving around the dining room, taking orders and refilling drinks.
Well, Nils will just drop the bags on the ground and snap for the young man. Boy.
Yes, sir. My name is Sven. How can I help you?
The bags. We need them to our room, please.
Very well. Okay, and so
be careful with that one. It's full of precious books.
And of course, and the gruff man. I'm sorry. I am Sammy. I'm Sammy Hardula, the proprietor of the Witch Cat, and we'll put you in rooms 3 and 4. So Sven, please take any luggage they may have upstairs. And so, yes, Sven, as best he can, it seems to be quite a few bags, but he carefully brings your bags to the second floor.
Well, about what time is it?
It's quite late. You left in early evening, and it was a few hours, so it's past dinner time, I would imagine. It looks to be. I'm sure there's a clock somewhere. So let's say it's about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Okay. Nils is gonna look at a pocket watch, and you're past due for your bath and restoratives, sir.
Yes. I would like maybe something to drink before heading up, though.
Of course.
Can I look at their wine list?
And the young girl approaches you. Hello, I'm Sophia. What can I get you?
I'll look over at Nils. What do I order here?
Well, I believe they had blood sausage.
So some of our stew. Yes, I'll bring 3 bowls then, and we have some ale, and I believe some stronger schnapps for the evening. I heard you mention wine. I'm very sorry. No wine at this time. We seem to have run out. We're expecting a delivery, but as for now, it's just the ale and the schnapps.
Go ahead.
What was your name again, child?
I'm Sophia. Sophia Hardula. Yes. Sammy, the owner, is my father.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps my master here has very sensitive gestation. Perhaps I could follow you back there and have a look around your kitchen.
Okay. Yes. Please come with me.
All right.
So yes, Sophia leads you back, and Sammy is watching you carefully as she leads you back through the behind the bar, and then there's a curtain that separates the bar area from the kitchen, and what you find is a very modest kitchen. It seems to be pretty well stocked, and Ingele is back there preparing. Seems to be preparing things for breakfast, and also filling the last of the orders for the customers. Oh, and I should mention, there were about 3 other guests that you saw sitting at tables.
Okay. Gonna just sort of snootily look through drawers and then ask Ingele, so you don't have any venison laying about here anywhere?
No, not today. Not as this evening. Blood sausage is about the best we can do. It seems the foul weather has delayed some of our shipments, and after a few too many trips to the cellar, we're a little depleted. I'm sorry. It's we've got some pickled herring, and blood sausage seems to be this evening's menu.
Mm-hmm. And your cheese and fruit selection?
Cheese we have in abundance. I'm afraid most of the fruit is dried.
All right. Do you mind if I put together a board?
Help yourself. Just inform Sammy what you need, and he'll apply it to your bill.
All right. So basically, until something else happens, I'm going to try to turn water into wine in this little kitchen.
All right. Are you? Let's see. Is there any? No, there's not a specific. That's right. Not a specific.
Close combat. It's a close combat roll.
Right. It could be inspiration.
Yeah, right. That's true. Or just force. It's an act of.
Yeah.
You just gotta make it happen.
Physicality. No, that's fine. Ingle is he notices kind of the class of the clientele, and just kind of gives way. He's not very possessive of the kitchen, and lets you have at it. So you find a lot, but it's quite meager, and mostly dried fruits and preserved things, and but lots of cheese.
Okay, well, I'll try to make it as aesthetically pleasing as I can. And while I'm doing that, I'm sort of trying to be nosy too, see if there's any weird things going on in the pantry or
sure.
Any cleanliness issues I should note.
Yeah, aside from the building itself seeming much older and in quite disrepair, the kitchen's quite clean. You don't notice any strange no vermin or any kind of infestation, and it's just that the and just about everywhere that you've been, from the dining room back to the kitchen, there are leaks in the ceiling, and pans are in place to the melt of the snow is quite taking its toll and dripping in through just about every surface of the inn. But it's warm and inviting inside. It's still very comfortable. Such a welcome change to the
top of the coach. Yeah,
top of the coach.
Yeah, I bet.
Even the inside wasn't quite as wonderful as this. And so the main dining room has a double fireplace, so it's quite warm and crackling.
Cool.
And yes. So yeah, we'll leave you to prepare your master's meal. Well, Olas directs Aksel to a table, and he points out that older gentleman over there. That's Father Clarehead. He's been in this area. He's actually been sent to care for the church, which seems to have been abandoned. That's not far from here.
Yeah,
I spoke with him.
We rode up. Yes.
Yes, I saw. I spoke with him the last time that we were here. So he's been sent to see what in fact has happened. I believe he called the church was Bilby. Yes, Bilby Church is what he called it, and said that the priest that previously was in charge has just disappeared. So he's been sent to bring the congregation and things back in order.
Okay. Well, as he's talking about Father Clarehead, he's in the room with us, right? He's one of the... Yes. He's one of the... I'm trying to do a quick, dead read on him. Does it look like he's a man that's comfortable here? Does he look like is he being shifty? I'm trying to do as he talks about each person, I'm going to try to check and see if what I think about them matches with what he's describing here.
Oh, okay. Yes. From what he the father comes across quite serious looking. He looks a little sick. He looks a little, so he's sitting up and as proper and kind of stone-faced as he can, but you can tell that this weather isn't doing much for him, and he may have a chest cold or something. So his breathing's a little labored. He doesn't look particularly vital. A little tired, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be. There's nothing strange about him.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's see. And the other two, and so you see a young woman sitting by herself, and then another man that appears to be a farmer. He looks quite local, and he's enjoying the ale and finishing yet another bowl of the blood sausage stew.
So you said there was a young woman here too?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I feel like I'm on the job and I'm trying to outdo this much older detective. So I'm trying to I'm trying to look around everywhere. I'm trying to do all the Sherlock Holmesy style things I can come up with. By the dung on that man's shoes, obviously he's a horse handler. That type of stuff.
Right.
In some ways, I'm not even worried about what's going on here as much as I'm trying to, I guess, impress or cow Olas more than actually trying to figure out what's happening.
Sure. All right. If you want to check anybody specifically, you can roll observation to kind of get a sense of a sense of them, and and some
I'll start with
details.
Well, I think the person who seems to be the least obvious is the young woman, so I'll start with her. An observation, you said?
Yes, yeah.
Let's see how this system works. How do we play this game? There's too many windows open.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Here we go. Oh, wait, almost. Observation.
Oh yeah.
2 successes.
Oh, very good. All right. So you see a young woman, and she has a strange bag with her. It doesn't look like a traveling bag or anything. It appears to be something medical, kind of a serious, some sort of medical small handbag with her, and she appears a little nervous, and you notice, even though it's warm but not excessively so, and she's not dressed excessively warm, she seems to be sweating. So she looks a little pale and sweating from you, from your eyes, and a little nervous. She noticed you come in and paid attention once Sammy called Olaf's detective. She paid extra attention to you and wanted to make sure, see if you were noticing her. So, from what she's carrying, she seems to be associated somehow with chemistry or pharmaceuticals.
Okay.
And she's sweaty and a bit nervous.
So she's on meth, is what you're saying.
One more success would have told you whether she was or not.
It's always one away.
But she does look altered to you. I mean, if like the nervousness doesn't look like she's afraid of something, it looks like
she's taking cocaine. Is that what it looks like? She's
you would I guess 2 successes. Yeah, it looks like she is with an observation. She definitely appears to be suffering the side effects of opium use.
Opium use. Oh,
yes,
the opposite of what I was thinking. Okay.
Yes. So yeah, she is. Yeah, she's nervous, but when you see her move, her movements are strange and flowing. So she's appears to be sweaty. I guess more confused than nervous. So she's not necessarily shaking, but looking confused, and her movements are quite strangely flowing. Like she moves very slowly and smoothly when she reaches for her glass or when she takes anything from the table.
And then,
yes,
I guess I'll do the same thing with the farmer. I want to throw a whole bunch of observations out at this guy and try to impress him.
Oh, sure.
So I'll also, let's size up this guy.
Uh-oh.
He's just a farmer. Yeah.
Yes. He seems to be the only thing that you've really noticed is apart from being quite intoxicated, the proprietor Sammy seems to be quite gentle with him. He's not seeing him as a nuisance, and they smile and are very friendly with each other. So they seem to be acquaintances from way back, and he doesn't mind him here drinking himself silly.
Gotcha. And then I guess I'll try to, even though I already asked a little bit, I'll try to observe and then like read said Father Claret.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of me just staring for 45 minutes. This reminds me of,
so nervous.
Have you seen the Seth Green Hornet movie?
Oh no, I haven't.
There's this thing at the end of it where like the bad guy and him are sitting at a bar, basically, I think what it is, and the bad guy starts spelling stuff out, and then there's just this like him putting it all together, flashes of everything, And he like stands up. He's like, "Aha! I figured it out." He's like, well, "You've been sitting there for like 10 minutes, not doing anything." like I imagine that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm just I'm like staring at everybody very obviously, and then I'm gonna be like, "Oh, look what I picked up." Well, we'll see. I got one success on the
Oh, okay. One success on the father. Okay. Yeah. So you did notice, and so from what Olas told you, yeah, he's here for the Billiby Church. He does seem to be, quite serious. He's not drinking, and he is appears to be a little bit physically ill. So maybe the work that he's been doing in the current weather has made him a bit ill. But he seems quite legitimate. You don't get any strange feelings from him at all.
I'll lean over to Olas and be. What is your goal for the night here? I see that I thought there was going to be a puppet show, and there's 4 people to watch: a drunk local,
Yes.
a priest that probably won't go, and a young woman that appears to be addicted to opium. What are we doing?
I'm quite impressed by your observations, Master Aksel. I didn't even notice that young lady's condition. The shadow puppets were just an excuse to bring you here, of course, or excuse for us to be here. I'm really curious to investigate what seemed to be a haunting of some kind. The last I was here, there were very strange stories told to me by the guests, having nightmares and also seeing and hearing creaking boards and footsteps in the hallway. So I'm very convinced, and things that I personally felt myself while staying here. I'm convinced that there's some sort of haunting that I'd like us to investigate. And the other thing that I noticed that we spoke about briefly in the coach is that the condition of this inn is quite unusual. It shouldn't look like this. More than a year ago, the inn was in quite perfect condition, and I know Sammy, the proprietor, takes good care and is constantly making any repairs necessary. So it's quite unusual that it would be leaking. We'd be having this many pans catching the melting snow coming through the walls and ceiling.
Well, I believe I've already solved the case, but we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, the same foul curse that befell my castle is also befalling this. And the only thing they have in common is the fact that it's called the Order, right? Is that what they call themselves?
The Society? Yes.
The Society. That the Society used both of these locations at one point as bases of operation. Obviously, there's a connection to that.
Yes, that's very very that's very important. I think that
stating odd things we already know very confidently.
Right. But I believe that meeting of the previous society members did bring about whatever has something to do with whatever's befalling this inn.
I didn't notice I didn't really look out the windows, right? So I didn't see all the creepy trees and everything as we rode in. That was pretty much just Niles, right?
Right. Yeah.
We were busy talking, and I was looking at books. So
right. Yeah. And you probably had
Nils, sir. Nils.
No, Nils. You probably had an oil lamp or something burning so you could read. So yeah, looking outside wouldn't have been very easy. Yeah. All right.
I mean, we've only known each other for what?
Your life.
My entire life. Well, so are we not going to watch the puppet show?
Are you talking to Olas?
Yeah.
Well, I believe. Yes. One thing that you may have noticed from the flyer, that actually, let's see if you did notice it. Why don't you roll? Give me a learning logic roll.
Oh
Let
my
me see if
goodness!
you did
I
notice
better
it.
succeed at this.
Yes.
Oh my god! I am going to.
Are we pushing?
We're pushing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm getting angry.
Getting a headache? What are you getting?
Yeah. There you go. 4 successes.
Wow.
Okay. So what are you going to take?
I'm taking
As your
angry.
mental. Oh, angry. Okay.
I'm starting to get like
Great.
I'm trying to impress him. I feel like he's not like he was like, oh yes, very nice, and then moving on. And I'm trying to spout all the stuff out of him, and it's not. He's not cowed at all or wowed by me.
Right.
So
Wow. Well, yeah, you're getting angry. It does seem to he notices. He's quite brought to attention, and you point out to him just as he was going to inform you of this. You point out to him the name on the flyer. So Oscar Hjort is the name of the young man that the shadow puppet play is about. And from what you know, Oscar is also a young man that traveled. He was originally from Uppsala and traveled Europe and became quite an acclaimed puppeteer and dancer. And he performed for the King of France and was quite established himself in continental Europe. But had the misfortune of the war kind of chasing him away. So the revolution and the war in France made him leave Paris and come back to his hometown, where he was then again a nobody. And but
he's
this
past, correct? This is all a while ago.
Yes, this is all. Yeah, this is all more than 50 years ago. And he. So he died more than 50 years ago, and so previous to that, he once he returned to Uppsala, he was taken up kind of under the wing of Albert of the three members of the society that returned here after the catastrophe, the disaster in Finland.
Professor Albert Verdenhelm?
Yes.
I actually wrote that one down.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so the professor took Oscar under his wing. So that's 4 successes. You get I guess even a little bit more than that, right? And yes, and you do know from the society records that Oscar also has the sight. He also is a Thursday's child, and his trauma of fleeing Europe allowed him to see the invisibles. And once he returned to Uppsala, speaking about this, he was shunned and rejected and thought to be insane until he met Albert, the professor. He was starting to doubt his own sanity, but. The professor took him under his wing and provided a new life for him.
So I imagine that, like, basically he keeps trying to explain stuff to me, and I keep talking over the top of him, being like, yes, I know that the professor took care of it near the end of his life. Because I'm getting pissed off, right? I'm just like, I need you to tell me something that's not in the books. I've read the books. I know what's in the books.
Right.
What are you expecting to do here? Why won't you tell me what the next step is? I'm just,
So he was quite a young man when he returned. So he his fame came to him very quickly, and he was still a young man when he returned to Uppsala. So it didn't take very long for him to succeed, but then also flee Paris.
Gotcha.
All right. So Sophia in the back. Is Nils still in the back preparing? Are you on your way out?
Oh, I can come out if it seems like some time has passed, right?
Sure. Yes. Yeah, I think that would be good. Is there anything else you want to talk with Olas about?
No, I think in a way I'm just like, this is probably not good for future relations, but I think I'm lecturing him. Just like I imagine that Nils comes out and he sees me like kind of irate with this guy, and there's no discernible reason why. I just seem
right. Yes, yeah. Olas is a bit He's impressed. He's quite impressed by your knowledge, but he's also doesn't understand why you seem so offended and outraged at you being here, your reasons for being here. So before you leave the kitchen, Sophia quietly asks Nils. She can tell that she's out of earshot of her father as he's still outside by the bar, and she sheepishly asks you, "Have you come to see tonight's performance?"
I believe that was the flimsy justification. Yes.
Well, I'm so happy. I haven't had anyone see one of my shows, and I've spent so much time to try to get attention. But can you please be very careful what you say around my father? He does not approve. He does not approve of. And does he even know what I'm up to with my shadow puppets?
What are you up to, child?
As you could read from my flyer, I'm telling the story of Oscar Hjort, a great man and an inspiration to me. He performed to the King of France, and was quite heralded before the Revolution in Europe. I've had dreams, actually. My shadow puppet play is based on my dreams of Oscar. His story just came to me as I slept, and I learned so much of his life that I had to tell this story.
So you're a Bolshevik. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And I'll just pick up my tray and turn around.
Okay.
My hope is, like, with Aksel being all flustered and everything, to just sort of appear next to him with the tray and startle the crap out of him.
Okay. All right, do you want to roll for stealth?
Oh, yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, if you want to sneak up on Aksel, and I guess we can try this, and Aksel can roll observation to see if you actually get away with it.
How do you do? Oh, okay, found it.
You just click. You click on the word.
Oh,
well,
failed.
That's okay.
Some cheese and fruit arrives. Yes,
actually, we have figs salted by jugged fish, a selection of hard farm cheeses on croutons, and I took the liberty of making a onion and root frisee to top their blood sausage stew with. Enjoy.
Wow.
I'm trying to recenter myself here. Thank you, Nils. Thank you.
The young girl here is the one in charge of the show.
Oh.
And she's quite excited that you're going to attend.
Oh, I assumed that the show was something that came in and perhaps was connected to what was going on. Now it seems it's just a local. Okay.
Apparently it's a biography of some French Bolshevik or something. I don't know. And as I'm talking to him, I'm pulling away the wooden spoons or whatever the hell they have and pulling out his traveling silver and laying it out for him.
Excellent. Wow. Yeah, Olas is quite impressed.
And I'll kind of look up across the table and that woman looks quite poorly, sir.
Yes, I do believe she has a condition, but she appears to be medicating, and hopefully we'll be okay.
And she does, she does notice you looking at her and kind of slowly starts to narrow her eyes at you and then looks away.
And I'll pull a little tin out of my breast pocket and pinch a little powder and hold it under Axel's nostrils. Your restoratives.
Thank you, Nils.
All right. And so Sophia comes behind you with a bowl of the stew for Olas. And she says, detective. And she places it in front of him with a wooden spoon.
Sophia, I understand you're the one putting on the play tonight.
Oh, she looks a little startled. Yes, please, don't speak loudly. My father does not approve of the arts, and actually, my performance is a bit of a secret. So I hope that once people retire, you will head to my theater, and we will commence the performance. But we need to wait until the guests have all gone to bed.
There's no reason to hide your passion. It's the whole reason we came. We wouldn't be spending our coin here tonight if it wasn't for you. Your father should be proud.
Oh well, thank you very much. So, do you know about the great artist Oscar Hort?
Yes, I've read quite a bit about him and know of some of his other works, and I'll spout some other names of something that he's in theory written.
Excellent. Wow, I'm quite impressed. He visits me in my dreams. I've seen so much of his life. I'm sure that I'm just making this up, but his life has been so amazing. I admire, I idolize his career, and hope someday to leave this place and have a artistic career of my own.
Roughly how old is she?
She looks in her teens, about 16.
Gonna lean over Axel's shoulder and whisper, "Sir, secret theaters with teenage girls, do you think this is a good idea?"
It's going to be fine. This is what we're here for.
This?
I cannot wait to watch it tonight. When do you think? After 10? 11? Well, look at the clock.
So, of course, once the guests have gone to bed, I think it will be safe. And as she's explaining this, Sammy, the proprietor, her father, walks up behind her and says, "Sophia, what are you discussing with our guests?"
Oh, I'll jump in. I was like, I was trying to find out if you have any Turkish coffee, perhaps?
Unfortunately, no. We just have there's a bit left of a local roast, but nothing that exotic. I'm afraid. Would you be? Would you like a cup? I can prepare a pot for you for after your meal.
Yes, if you could, that would be excellent.
All right. Okay, so Sammy, he takes a look at the quite luxurious board that you laid out for Axel, and heads back to the coffee. Heads back to start the coffee. And Sophia, and he calls her back with him. So I will come to you when the performance is about to begin. And she shuffles away back to the kitchen. All right, and
I'll turn to Olas and say, "Is she the one we're investigating?"
I believe the girl is connected to this somehow. She's turned a little strange since this reported haunting has begun. Her obsession with this puppeteer and her putting together this performance is is very strange. It's done against the wishes of her father, and it's very odd that she has become so obsessed with this. And as he's explaining, actually, Jonathan, the farmer, kind of walks over to you. He's not completely obliterated, but he's happily drunk and red faced, and he says, "I have to warn you. Be careful talking to Sammy's daughter. She's a little off since her mother left. It's a very sensitive topic. I would be very careful around her, and don't upset my old friend Sammy. This is sensitive, a sensitive situation that you don't want to upset."
Oh, I definitely would not want to upset him. He has such a lovely establishment that we'd be staying at. How long ago did his wife leave? That was kind of vague. What happened?
Well, so he glances to see that Sammy is actually in the kitchen, back out of earshot, and says, Nora was her name, and she and Sammy had a bit of a violent physical relationship. She always wished to pursue the arts, and was very creative, a very creative woman. Unfortunately, that led her to want to bring performers and artists and all sorts of those folk to the inn. And unfortunately, at first, Sammy agreed. He wanted to keep her happy and was hoping to keep the inn something interesting. So actors and singers and performers were frequent here. But there was a little bit of an accident, and I think that was the beginning of Sammy's hatred for the creative people, shall we say. The rumor is that Sophia is not Sammy's daughter, but in fact one of the traveling singers fathered her. So this led to the deterioration of their relationship, and we used to see Nora quite bruised, and her eyes swollen from Sammy's anger. But so she fled one night after Sammy finally forbid her to welcome any traveling artists to the inn. She finally said that she'd had enough, and she fled and left with the traveling theater that had come to town, and swore she would return for Sophia, but that she would never wanted to see Sammy again. Unfortunately, shortly after she left, she took to her sick bed at Karlskrona and passed away from illness.
That is truly tragic. Thank you for letting me know. I will watch my words around Sammy and his daughter.
And as soon as he says that, I put my hands kind of forcefully around the guy's shoulder. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, excellent meeting you, sir. Excellent. Perhaps a drink at the bar, sort of.
Yes,
force him away.
Sure. Sammy's a good man. He's a good man. He just was pushed beyond what he could bear, and then he goes and staggers back towards his table. All right, and so after you hear a bit of that story from Jonathan, you hear a crash from the kitchen, and some words you can't quite make can't quite make out, and just like your mother, and I forbid it. You hear fragments of some a raised man's voice, and what sounds like a physical scuffle, and Sophia comes running out of the kitchen behind the bar and runs directly up the stairs to the second floor.
I'm going to excuse me, gentlemen, and I'm going to walk into the kitchen.
Oh, okay. And you see, so when you enter the kitchen, you see Sammy kind of readjusting his tie and his jacket, kind of straightening up himself.
Everything quite all right in here, sir?
Yes, just a bit of accident with the coffee, so nothing to worry about. I'm afraid Sophia's a bit worn out for the night, so I sent her to her room. She seemed a bit tired. I'm sorry that she troubled you with any of her strangeness.
Oh, she's just a talkative girl. It's quite all right.
So I'm sorry. We'll have the coffee to you as soon as we can find another pot. So you see a broken coffee pot on the floor. All right. Okay.
So I'll lean over to Olas then and say, so you know Sonny, right? For some time?
Oh, Sammy, the proprietor?
Sammy, sorry. Sonny written down.
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, Sammy. So Sami. Yes, his full name, I guess you probably would have gotten from Olas. The proprietor is Samuel Hurla. Harula. Mm-hmm. Samuel Harula, the proprietor of the Witch Cat. And I've mostly known him by reputation. He, of course, his family has owned this inn for generations. There's been a Harula running the Witch Cat for hundreds of years. So it's been here for a long time, and never quite has it looked quite this bad. In fact, as you know, the society used this as a temporary meeting place before upon their return to Uppsala, before the castle was reestablished.
Bit of a infamous name, wouldn't you say?
The Witch Cat. Yes, I'm not quite sure the origin of that name. We may have to do some research on that, but Witch Cat is what it's always been called. I'm not sure. There must be a story.
Master Aksel, do you still intend to attend this child's performance?
I had hoped, but it's possible that it will not be happening anymore, from what I've observed. Mayhap I'll retire to my room, and maybe you can make sure I'm not disturbed for a short while?
Certainly.
And I'll take a few coin out of my pocket and throw it down on the table. I don't know how you pay for things here. And
I'll take back the too many he put down.
Yeah. I'll put $300 on the table. That should cover it. Right? And then
all right. And
start heading upstairs.
Okay. As you stand up to leave the table to retire, the warm firelight of the room starts to fade to a strange bluish hue, and the temperature of the room itself seems to be falling. It just rapidly falling. Suddenly, you can see your breath inside the room. The light of the fire. The fire is still giving off light, but it's now turned to this strange, dull, bluish flame, as have all the oil lamps and any source of light inside the dining room. The diners, including Olas, all slump down and seem to fall into a deep sleeping stupor.
Well,
So
that's
where they are,
kill the opium lady.
that's
Yeah, they're hard stuff.
So, if they're sitting at a table, they've slumped down onto the table, or they slid back into their seat, depending on their position, and all seem to be deeply asleep.
So it's just me and Aksel?
Yes.
Olas too? Is he awake?
No, Olas slumped down as well, and you hear Sammy from the kitchen yell no, and he seems to be very disturbed. So he is not affected by this, by whatever's happening to the guests, but he seems to be very upset, and he's doing something. You hear him like the noise of him like slapping the face of possibly the cook. He's doing something. You're hearing some hand on skin, and some him howling, no, don't do this. And I need you guys to make a fear test.
Mm.
So it's fear test. So it's fear 1.
How do we do that? What is that? What's going on? Let's see.
What is happening? So I think you're just rolling either you can choose between logic or empathy, and you just need to get at least one.
Just the raw stat.
Yeah, just the raw stat. Let me double check that. Just the oh my god, there's a lot of fear. I think it's just the raw stat, and you just need to beat the
Well, I get a +2 on fear test when those I'm sworn to protect are present.
Oh, yeah, nice, yeah. +2. Well, you're rolling a lot of dice then.
Okay.
See here. Yeah, I believe it's just the you just choose either logic or empathy, and you just have to beat the
I'm doing empathy.
Okay.
So it's just 2 extra dice, right?
Yes, yeah. So your empathy +2.
Got one.
Yeah. Good, good.
No, that's you.
That's me.
Oh,
I just rolled 2.
oh my god.
Oh, it all shows
no.
up in the same line. I didn't realize that.
Okay.
Push it, Nils. Push it.
Okay, so yes, so fear test. You choose how to tackle the fear with either logic or empathy. That then your attribute is how many dice you roll, and you add additional dice equal to the number of player characters present. So you each get one more. Yeah, so roll one more because Aksel was present. Sorry, I missed that.
Do you roll a die?
Or just do the command, the slash roll 1d the space 1d6. Yeah, so roll one more for the presence of Aksel, but Aksel has already succeeded, so we're okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm fed up with this bumpkin town, and I'm going to get angry.
Okay.
And push it.
All right. Oh no!
Well, you still get that bonus dice, so roll that other dice.
Let's get one more.
I guess I just roll it separate, huh?
Yeah.
Oh no!
I'm so frightened.
So on failure, so Nils has become terrified. So roll a d6 to see how many rounds it takes for you to regain control.
All right. Is this like running around ridiculousness, or just frozen on the spot?
You have a choice.
Oops, I did that wrong.
Yes, slash.
Now I roll a 6.
Well, there you go. There's your 6. So when you have the terrified condition, so I assume it's the player character. Yeah. So it's up to you how you are going to react to this. So you become terrified and you suffer the mental condition fear. Sorry, mental conditions. Sorry. You suffer the number of mental conditions equal to the fear value. So you are angry and then plus another
frightened.
Frightened. Yeah, frightened. That would work. Frightened. Yeah, so equal to, because it was 1 fear. So yeah, now you're angry and frightened.
And what do those do again?
So those reduce the stat. So now you're -2 for rolling anything.
And is this thing
mental
scripted to figure that out for me, or
Yeah,
Oh,
it figured it out for me. I pushed and had it.
okay,
Oh, cool. Yeah, so if you mark it on the sheet, yeah, it should do that for you.
Well, I'm gonna take the angry part
Mhm.
and wrap it up in the frightened, and just start cursing and grabbing every vessel of liquid in the entire bar and throwing it at the weird blue fire.
Okay. So I guess that would be attack. So yeah, your options when you're terrified are flee, freeze, faint, or attack. So you are going to attack the fire.
I'm attacking the fire.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you're surprised maybe at the low alcohol content of the ale as you are flinging it into the fire, and it seems to actually be extinguishing some of the flames as opposed to making it worse. Okay, so yeah, we've got six rounds.
So all the stew is going in there, like any liquid I can find.
All right. So we've got a few minutes of Nils kind of losing it on the fire. All right, and okay, yes. So so you heard Sammy. So while Nils is doing this, and Aksel has been able to hold it together. And you see Sammy run from the kitchen and pleading. He's pleading, Nora, no, don't do this, don't do this. And he heads. Oh, I wish I could mark the map for you. So he heads through. Let's see. Oh, so he would actually. You hear him pleading. Pleading to Nora to not do this. I forgive you. I forgive you. And he's running out. You hear the slamming of a wooden door in the back. So he's run out the back of the witch cat, and you still hear his voice as he is running in the back. The backgrounds of the inn. And still screaming and pleading to Nora, don't do this, don't do this.
Well, I'll take 2 beats and watch Nils freaking out at the fire.
This fire is evil, sir!
Because typically I would look to him and he would go chase after him. But he's not doing that right now. I'm a little confused what's going on. It's taking me a moment to process. And then I'll kind of take stock of... I know these are all beats, so I'm losing ground. But I'll take stock of what's his name, the Olas, with me, and see that he's unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll carefully move my way to the kitchen and try to figure out what he's running from, basically.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
move back there and see if I can see anything. Nora, I know I'm trying to logically process this on my mind. Nora is the name of the wife.
Mm-hmm.
She's dead. He's talking to her. This is the ghost. So she's the one that's haunting here, and it's because...
Wait, did we know she was dead?
Yeah, we were told that she took sick and died.
Yeah, she took to her sick bed and and died shortly after she abandoned the family.
So I'm trying to... I'm focusing on like okay, so this happened and this happened. I understand what's happening here. I think as I walk my way beautifully, but like I'm not like leaping over counters or anything. I'm trying to
Sure.
Oh, I had to lift this little flap thing up. Okay, I put that over, lay it down, and then look in the room as when I peek in behind the curtain or whatever it is to the kitchen, and like make sure there isn't a tiger or anything in there, and then walk into the kitchen and like
Yeah, you see, so the kitchen is full of the same blue light, and even the oven itself is glowing blue. And Ingele is laying slumbering on the floor of the kitchen. And you see the door to the storage room that would be, if you entered, would be to your right. The door and then the door from that storage room directly outside are open, and there's some snow blowing in from there, so you can.
Completely other random thought. So when we're talking about leaving, Matt said that he grabbed a bunch of salt thinking that like in all of our lore, salt messes up ghosts. Is salt messing with ghosts a thing that I'm aware of? Is that a thing?
Oh,
Is there anything in this kitchen? Like, is it known that like ghosts are repelled by cobbler pie, or or whatever it is that I can.
Jugged fish. They're all terrified of jugged fish.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard that some spirits that salt does work with some spirits that there's things like circles of protection and certain things that and evil spirits are kept at bay by placing dishes of salt in places. You know of these things.
Okay, I'll grab I realize again I'm losing ground every time I'm doing anything here, but I grab some we all know that you have to put salt on the northeast windows on your house, wherever it is. Like, I'm going to grab some stuff that I think from the kitchen that I think will help ward against ghosts before I head out into the back to see what's happening.
Okay.
Can you hear this?
Yes.
Was that?
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. That was water. It's supposed to be water.
Oh, gotcha. I thought it was hissing. It's kind of hissing.
Yeah.
It's the sky hissing.
All right. Yeah. So you're able to because it's lit. It's blue. It's very blue, but it's lit still in the kitchen. So you're able to grab from the kitchen and storage things that look like they're useful. Things like salt and the like. And you make your way at the back door. Immediately ahead of you, you see a second storage, an outdoor storage attached to the stables. And the odd thing that you notice right away is even the horses in the stables appear to be slumbering.
Like they're laying down. They're not standing up.
Right. Right. Yeah. So they're laying down in their stalls. As you head outside, and so you trudge through. The snow is quite deep. It's almost knee high. It's maybe mid calf high. So there's quite a lot of snow on the ground. And as you round the corner of the building to your right, you see that Sammy
I see only one set of tracks.
Yes, yeah. You see only Sammy's tracks, and he's made his way to the far corner by the collapsed conservatory, and he's screaming and pleading to Nora at that building for her to stop and don't do this. That he's so sorry, and so you'll hear him say, Nora, please don't do this. I'm so sorry. I forgive you. You must forgive me. I will raise Sophia to. I'm giving this in to Sophia. She is our daughter, and she will always be my family. She will have this in as her inheritance, and I hope that she can care for it and continue its legacy. Please, Nora, don't do this. Sophia, of course, I love Sophia. Sophia is our family. I'm doing this all for you. And he's pleading.
I'll trudge over towards. Is he he's pleading at the conservatory? Like,
yes,
he's as if she's in there, type of a thing.
Right. Yes. Yes, okay. She's focusing on that as it's the place where he thinks of her.
I'll trudge up to a couple feet behind him, and then I'll yell out Nora.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. You just it's just the wind. They actually compared to the severity of the storm on your travels, the snow is coming down a bit lighter now. Visibility a little bit better. It's still snowing, but it's not so violent and windy. And you call out Nora, and you don't hear any reply. And Sammy seems to be very still obsessed with the conservatory.
I'll go up to the door of the conservatory and start trying to lay out the stuff I think is supposed to ward off spirits.
Oh, okay.
In whatever I'm trying to do, I don't know what I'm actually doing, but my plan here is to try to set up a thing and then also trying to engage with this ghost on some level. So I think I'm gonna kind of yell out at her and say, my thought here is that Aksel doesn't really know a lot about how people's act and interact and stuff, but he thinks he's on top of the situation. So
okay,
So I'm like I said, I'm like laying out the salt, I'm putting out the stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm throwing rice around. I don't know what all we have to do. And I'll say, Nora, I feel like I understand the situation 100%, even though I probably don't. So I'll say, Nora, I understand your rage, and I know you're worried about your daughter, but do not worry. I will take care of her.
Okay.
She will have
right.
no problems. Every one of her needs will be met. I have a beautiful castle uptown, up the road. She'll be a princess. You can leave this realm. You can relax. And I'm just like setting up the salt stuff, and I think that this is totally going to work. All we have to do is just convince the ghost that everything is fine.
And Sammy notices, he finally notices what you're doing at the front of the conservatory and asks you, what do you think you're doing? What is this, this ceremony? What are you doing? Are you trying to harm the spirit of my dead wife?
I have no desire to harm anyone. I want everyone to be at peace and have joy and happiness in their life, as your daughter will when she comes with me. I'm still trying to speak as if this is all I figured it all out
in
12 seconds. Super smart. And after it, and I say, I will go in and I will plead my case with Nora, and when I return, all will be well. And I lay out the salt stuff, and you said the conservatory's collapsed in, right?
Yeah, it's very very dilapidated.
Is there any way for me to get into the building?
No, the structure's collapsed enough that the door, if you would open the door inward, it doesn't move. So it's actually like obstructed by collapsing ceiling beams and structures.
I'll plead out to Nora. Nora, tell me, what else is it that you need so that you may be laid at rest? I'm here for you. I'm here to help. Just speak, and I will listen.
Okay, and
I stop and I listen, even though
sure
she's not going to talk to me.
Sure. Yes, yeah. You don't get any reply, and in fact, Sammy is he's stopped. He stopped. Demanding that you stay away. He's standing very still behind you and has stopped kind of interacting with you. He seems to be in a bit of a trance, and is no longer. He's like staring, no longer looking at the conservatory, kind of staring off into the night sky, into the distance, and looks a bit catatonic.
He's not staring at anything in particular, just kind of off, right?
Yeah. He's just staring off. So not looking at anything, just looking up into the sky, and has stopped questioning you and stopped saying anything to the to his dead wife.
I'll just keep pleading to Nora to talk to me, to speak to me, to tell me what it is she wants.
Okay. All right. And so you do this for a little while, and I think by this time, so let's I think it's been enough rounds, because there was you laid things out, there was a ritual, and you listened to Sammy go on. Mm-hmm. So I think Nils is back in the game if you want to you
that fire's been put out, sir. That fire's been put out.
Yeah, like he literally just finished dumping the opium addict lady's perfume bottle on the fire, and he's like kind of like looking at himself like, what the hell am I doing? And then he snaps up straight, pulls his coat straight, and looks around and Master Aksel! Master Aksel!
Yes, you could feel the cold wind coming through the kitchen, like from behind the bar. So obviously there's an open door.
Yeah, I'll head out that way.
Okay.
I'm gonna, because I am. The conditions are still there, right?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Until you to do something. And you have to be kind of in a quiet. You have to be in your room or in the stable or something away from things.
This combination of angry and frightened has got me holding a Axel's silver butter knife and my revolver as I come walking outside.
Whoa, okay. All right. And so, yeah, you see Sammy standing a few paces away from the conservatory, just staring into the sky above it. And Aksel is at the door and appears to have been laying something out in front of the conservatory.
Is Sammy like catatonic like the others?
He's not asleep. His eyes are open. He's not. He doesn't appear to be unconscious. He's just staring into the sky and doesn't notice your approach.
So, feeling the shame of what had overcome Nils, he runs over to Aksel, kind of revealing actual emotion that he usually conceals. He's like, "Master, are you all right?"
I'm fine, Nils. I'm fine. I believe we've found our spirit. It seems like it may be Nora.
What is all this? What are you doing? Do you need a broom?
When we're done, maybe. I read some books on the way here, and they suggested that by laying things out in a northwesterly direction, based on the phase of the moon, and if we put salt in equal piles, that it should ward off a spirit. And it seems like it calmed Sammy down.
Yeah, what's happening with him? He does not look well.
He's at least standing, unlike everyone else. How are you?
I fear the long trip here may have worn on me a bit, sir. I apologize for my lack of composure. And I'm going to reach down and pinch some of the salt he's got and throw it over my shoulder. Shall we go back inside, sir?
I've been trying to commune with this spirit. It hasn't responded. I'm wondering if maybe I forgot something, or maybe there was another book I should have read that would have helped.
And why here in this ruin? Why are we doing it here?
Well, I took cues from Sammy over there. It seemed like he was talking as if she was in this building. I assumed he could see or sense her in some way, and this is where she was at.
Perhaps we could search it by daylight.
Yes, but until we can get rid of that blue flame or whatever it is, which I saw you were doing giving it the old college try, I don't know, as if I wish to fall asleep with how everyone else is reacting. I'm wondering...
No, we should probably get this fellow back inside and maybe check on the health and welfare of everyone indoors.
Yes, but now's a good time, while everyone is indisposed, to look around the area. There's that cellar that always seems empty. They always talk about being empty.
In the dark.
Well, you can go grab me one of those lamps from inside, can't you?
Of course, sir. Perhaps I'll escort this gentleman back inside and bring you back a lamp.
That'd be wonderful, thank you.
All right. I'm gonna try to move Sammy. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. If you try to kind of like put your arm on his shoulder, kind of push him behind, he kind of follows your kind of physical physical direction, and is kind of you can move him. He starts to take steps, and you can guide him if you want to back toward the inn.
Okay.
He's starting to mumble though as you as he starts to walk. He's mumbling, and his voice sounds a bit different. It sounds not like the kind of friendly, maybe a little overly aggressive proprietor of the inn, but a little gruffer and a little stranger. And he's starting to mumble, "What have I done? What have I done? I killed him. I'm a murderer. I'm a murderer. What have I done? And he's yeah.
I'll stop. Sir, I may have a clue here.
Is he still just repeating that on like?
Yeah. So he's So and he's starting to. So at first he started to mumble it, and now it's becoming. He's starting to just scream full voice. Just screaming this guilt over the crime he committed. He says, I'm a murderer. I must pay for my sins. I am a murderer. I killed him. I must be punished. And then he actually takes off running. Once his full voice is restored, he breaks away from you and he runs back toward the inn. And you hear a door slam.
We need to get a cap on that. To the inn, Nils. To the inn.
Quite. Yeah, we'll rush back in the inn after him.
Okay. When you come back, you come back into the inn and you don't see any sign of him through the storage or into the kitchen.
He's gone upstairs. That's the only lie. I mean, the front door's closed, right? Of the inn still, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. The front door is closed. Yes.
Are the other three still out cold in here?
Everybody is out. Only from the first floor, only Sammy stayed conscious during that the bluening.
Okay. We'll run upstairs.
I'll swing wide and grab the morphine bag or whatever that is, the opium bag, as we head up. Whatever. Assuming that you didn't throw it all in the fire.
Well, I only threw a perfume on the fire.
That doesn't put out fires.
The opium might have calmed my nerves.
Well, I think we may have need for it for other purposes. It is okay. Yes, we'll head up.
Okay, you're going to go to the second floor?
Yes.
Okay. So you proceed up the stairs and you find a sleeping Sven laying on the laying in the hallway, just right at the top of the stairs. So you kind of have to step over him. He was on his way back down. I guess when all of this happened. And what you do notice, so you come to the top of the stairs and you see a series of doors in the small hallway. And at the far end, directly ahead of you is a trap door that has been opened, and there's a wooden ladder that's been placed at the trap door.
Well, you're the one with the firearm, Nils.
And your room. You can see the rooms marked 3 and 4, so you can see easily which rooms would be yours.
Okay, I'll go up the ladder.
Oh, all right, all right. Okay,
I'll start opening doors unless I hear screaming or fighting. I'm trying to figure out what's going on down here.
All right. So you open. You can open the doors to every room except the larger one at the northwest corner of that map you're looking at, the one marked Nora's room, which you wouldn't know that, but that room is marked is that's the only locked door. Everything else is you can walk directly into.
Do I find Sophia asleep on the floor in her room?
No, yeah, you check all of the rooms. None of the guests. The only person that's on this second floor is the slumbering Sven near the stairs. Nobody is in their rooms, and yeah, Sophia's room. Sophia's room is interesting. She's obviously pursuing her kind of creativity. If you wanted to look around, there may be things there, but that's the only room that has really much of interest. Sophia's room is the only one that's kind of different. She's decorated it herself.
Yeah, I'll poke around in there for a while.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure everything's fine upstairs.
All right. Okay. So, Sophia's room. If you want to do, I guess let's see. Yeah, we're not doing investigate, are we? Let's see.
Vigilance? Just the spot check stuff?
Yeah. Is that what? Yeah. Because what was the description?
I think observation. No.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
observation.
maybe.
Yeah, observation. Yeah, we'll do observation, but I think that's like more specifically for people and motives.
Oh.
But there was a little bit of a difference. Yeah, let me see.
Because I think vigilance was like,
yeah, watching it like a situation. Yeah,
not getting startled or things like that. Right?
Yeah, let me double check. Okay, so observation. When you're talking to another person or spending time in their presence, use observation. Let me see what...
It had to be investigation or learning then, right?
Yeah. And vigilance is to notice someone sneaking up on you. And furthermore, it can be used to interpret situations you are monitoring. And what's the... so observation, people, investigation, to use to search a room. Yeah, investigation.
I will investigate angrily. 2 successes.
Oh, excellent. All right. So Sophia's room.
As I'm hearing fire go off upstairs, I'm like, oh yeah. He's got that.
Demon, sir.
So
yes, handle it.
Let's see. So yes, you find in Sophia's room that she has a lot of journals and drawings, and there's even a small portrait of her mother that it looks like she painted. There's a desk, a closet with clothes, and a bookcase, and then also some paintings that look like she has done herself. She was there's a lot of writing all about Oscar. So kind of it seems like a notes and things that were a script, possibly a script for her
shadow puppet play.
Her shadow puppet play. But and some some notes that look like it's in a different handwriting, but it looks like writings and notes about the witch cat ghost. So it looks like not in Sophia's kind of younger writing, but in another handwriting, witch cat ghost, and so when you flip through it seems like that the ghost is suspected to be one of Sammy's relatives. She suspects the writer of this note suspects that one of Sammy's relatives is the ghost haunting the inn, and the ghost began appearing prior to so a little more than a year ago, last fall, before last winter.
Was that before or after the mother left?
That would be before the mother left.
Okay.
Yeah, she left shortly after that. She's been gone. She only was gone for about a year, and died in the spring. There was reported that she had died in the spring. So that's about all. It's about all you see in the room. And as Nils gets to the top of the ladder, mostly what you see are crates and containers that you'd find in an attic, trunks, boxes, old clothes, and books. So it's quite cluttered, but you can see there's a blue light coming from the far end.
A blue light?
A blue light coming from the far end of the attic, and coming from behind a curtain. So a curtain has been hung from the ceiling of the attic, the rafters in the attic. and a blue light is coming from beyond. From beyond that.
Nils will very shakily edge his way towards the curtain.
All right.
And try to pull it back with the tip of the silver butter knife in his left hand.
All right. And so what you see are some chairs set up facing a stage, and Sophia is she is kind of moving around to either side and behind various parts of this incredibly elaborate theater. So a theater has been constructed, and she seems to be in some sort of trance. She's adjusting clockwork and making certain calibrations on what appears to be an amazingly elaborate mechanical device that controls not only fabric screens but light sources and figures. You keep seeing things kind of move across.
Oh, it's one of those clockwork puppet shows.
Yes.
That's cool.
And as she's adjusting it, you see figures sweeping across in front of the stage as she's making her adjustments. And she the interesting thing that you notice just by glancing at it is the style of this puppet show looks to be quite old. It looks to be more than 100 years old in its style, very 18th century. When this art form first came to the European continent, and this was kind of a very early version of this, and it's amazingly elaborate. You can't imagine where she would have gained the knowledge to construct something so mechanically sophisticated.
Is her father in the room?
No. Yeah, you only see Sophia moving around and talking quite animatedly, like she's kind of talking to herself in this very animated way. This will be perfect. This performance will be talked about for generations. We will make such a splash. This will be the most amazing effect on the world, the art world has ever seen. I can't wait for the reviews to come out. This will be quite tremendous. There will be notes written about this for miles around.
Well, Nils, in a trembling voice, with like any hint of his normal affect completely gone, is like, Sophia, child, come here, please. And he's sort of shakily holding the knife and the gun.
And so she kind of snaps out of this manic thing, this manic episode that she was having, and stops making any adjustments. And she turns to you slowly, and in her kind of tired, sheepish voice, she said, You came to see the show. Please be seated. Where is your young master?
He's downstairs. He just needed to do a few things. Can you maybe help us, and then we'll come see the show, please, child?
Yes. What can I help you with?
Well, let's go back downstairs, and my master will explain it.
But the show, it's ready.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's ready to begin. Please be seated.
Well, we want to make sure we get everyone up for the show, so maybe you could come help me down the stairs, down the ladder, child.
Okay, so you'll need some. She seems pretty set on starting the show, even if there's only going to be one audience member. So you'll need to do some manipulation to get her.
All right.
To get her to come down.
This is your moment.
Not vigilance, huh? This is my moment. I have a -2.
Oh, that's right.
All right. Let's see how. You know what? I'm going to push it.
Oh, okay.
Now,
living on the edge.
do these terms, are they purely to inspire roleplay, or do they mean something? Like, if you're broken, because in Forbidden Lands, broken is a big deal.
Yeah. So you can take three conditions, and on the fourth you become broken. Yes. You're out.
Broken is the last. Okay, so I'll be hopeless. All right. And then Nils just sits down in a chair.
Okay.
Of course, we're here for the show.
Yes, and so so yeah, Nils sits in one of the chairs and is ready for the show. And Aksel, you hear this mechanical cranking, this very complicated kind of clockwork, as if you were in a clock tower, above a city, and you hear the sound coming from the attic. When you're
started the show without me.
You're in Sophia's room.
Well, I'm kind of probably have a book in my hand right now and some other papers. I'll kind of tuck stuff up and pat it down, try to get it to not fall over.
Okay.
I'm still thinking that it's the mother's ghost. So you said looked like she had painted a picture of her mother at some point?
Yes. Yeah. There's a portrait of her mother. What it looks like. Yeah.
Is it ginormous, or is it something I can carry easily?
It's quite small. Yeah. It's just the size, maybe a size of a large book. So yeah, you could take it.
I will grab that and head my way upstairs to see what's going on. I haven't heard any gunfire. That's good.
Right. Yes.
I haven't heard any liquids being thrown, so that's good.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm going to run across to my room and get my revolver out of my chest because I don't keep it on me, because who would keep a revolver on them? So I'll go get my gun.
All right.
And then I'll work my way up to the trapdoor.
Okay. Yeah, and you work your way past all of the things in storage above there, and you can see. So there's a parted curtain, hanging, and about 4 chairs in front of a stage, and in one of those chairs is sitting Nils, and he's just
shaking.
Yes. Holding a silver butter knife and a revolver. And you see this amazingly elaborate clockwork theater, and Sophia is standing to one side, attending to this crank, and her arm is very strongly, very, very steadily cranking this large metal crank on the side of the theater itself, but she herself seems to be kind of slumped and just hanging from her arm. So her arm itself is performing the action of turning the crank, but she seems to just be barely hanging on there. So the arm is, if the arm was on wires and being
it's
held,
animating its on its own, and she's just hanging from it.
Right. Yeah. She seems to be hanging from it, and it's so something's controlling just her arm to turn this wheel. But you hear her start to speak, and at first it's her voice. So she announces. She starts reading the script for her Dance of Dreams, and she says, "A young man wanders through Europe, seeing things few people are fortunate enough to witness. He dances with queens and visits Versailles and the Palais Royal. There are people that perform his plays and praise his name, and life dances along like a dream. But the People's Revolution sweeps the land with grenades and fire, and those who are playing and singing end up dead by the side of the road. The young man flees the song of the guillotine. Our hero returns to a city in the north. He walks into its gates without shoes, poor and mute." And as you see this, so you're seeing, everything that she's describing in her words go by on screens that are backlit, fabric screens that are backlit, and these figures dance across these lit scrims this puppet theater, and everything is just perfect and beautiful the way that it's controlled by this clockwork mechanism. So the house where he was born is burnt to ash, and his family is missing. He kneels by the side of the road, and her voice starts to change and deepen, begging for coin, and no one knows that his name was once sung in the palaces of Europe. Suddenly, he sees things no one else does. Creatures creeping and flying and crawling. Invisibles reveal themselves to him. When he points them out to others, he is mocked and beaten. A man picks him up from the streets and has him bathed and clothed. The man's name is Albert, and his mansion is a place of love and song. Our young hero performs his plays and sings to him for days and nights, and they eat fruit and drink wine. Albert introduces his friends in the young man's dreams, and they are all dancing together. But the dreams lie. It was you. You brought me here. You asked me to sit down and talk. We spoke of the future. I have the right to refuse, you said, and smiled. And then you butchered me like a pig. One hangs from the ceiling. You buried my body in unholy ground without priest or consecration. Now dreams are all I have left. I gaze out over the audience at the Palais Royal, and I dance with a princess. I eat cake. I look up into your eyes, Albert, and I let you take my dirty hand. You summon me to Paris Inn. You make me a villainous proposition, and I decline. You cut me up. I scream, not wanting to die. At last, you are back. Welcome. And as you hear this welcome, a blue glowing figure emerges, just passing completely through the scrims of the Shadow Puppet Theater, and you see the body of, you see the figure of a young man dressed very well, but stinking and rotting. And as he speaks the words "welcome," the whole house shakes, and the last few words that he speaks vibrates the entire room. And then he repeats, he repeats the words "welcome," and then begins to shriek, and this blue, ghostly, decaying figure launches himself directly at the two of you seated in the chairs.
Ah!